I'd like to start off by saying that I don't have a fucking clue why I'm posting this on /X, or really, at all. Maybe I'm afraid of dying or something. The events described in the story happened a month and a half ago. In Sharondale, West Virginia. Although I typed this about 2 weeks ago, I just haven't had the guts to post this until what happened yesterday. The story starts in late September, when my family went to go visit our relatives, who invited us up to celebrate one of them, Desiree, getting like $2,000 in some scratch-off lottery thing. They live in this really fucking shitty part of Sharondale. The people from Charlestown, Shepherdstown, and Ranson, basically the least redneck parts of West Virginia, like to call Squala Holler. It's way up in the mountain, and exactly like how everyone pictures it when they hear about it. Nothing but ramshackle shacks, rusty-ass rebuilt trailers, everything fucking covered in decades-old Christmas decorations, because they're all too busy being smelly rednecks to ever clean up. Real deliverance shit, just no rivers or canoes. The relatives we were visiting were absolutely confirmed inbreeders, all cousins fucking each other. We don't refer to them as aunt, uncle, or whatever, just relatives. Not terrible people or anything, just absolutely cartoonish depressing hillbilly. So, anyway, we're up here in this godforsaken trailer. It sucks. There's like 8 of them, plus me, my dad, my mum, and my sister. And about 2 hours in, my mum takes my cell phone so I can focus on the family time together. Which is bullshit. We did the whole time was eat TV dinners and be forced to watch NASCAR and shit. After like 6 hours of this shit, about 10 minutes before we're supposed to leave, it starts raining. We know how treacherous the roads can be up the mountains, so we decide to wait for the rain to die down. Flash forward 2 hours later, it's fucking dark as hell, 10 o'clock, and there's a flood warning in the area. I have my phone back at this time. No reception though, of course. I'm playing Tetris and text some Hold'em and stuff, when I suddenly hear that my dad starts losing his shit in the next room. I walk over, and it turns out that they let slip that they buried their kid, Thomas, outside, and apparently were afraid the rain would wash up his body or some other horse shit. The kid was like 6. He was attacked by a dog, and they never told the cops. Just fucking buried him like he was a family pet. My dad's flipping his shit, and rightfully so, because, you know, we live in the 21st century and all. So relatives all say they're all sorted out in the morning. My parents tell me and my sister to stay in the same room as them during the night, and we do. None of us really suspected they'd killed Thomas or anything, since they're really peaceful. They didn't even own any guns, aside from this old-timey double-barrel shotgun they had on a mantle. Nevertheless, we were creeped the fuck out, and intended to tell the cops in the morning once we got to town. So, it was like 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Power had gone out for the 5th time or so, and I'm not able to charge my dead phone. Worst part is I could see Thomas's little grave right outside my window, a little cross on it and everything. And I assumed the kid couldn't have been buried deep at all, since they were so worried about him washing up out of the grave. So I just fixated on it, kept being drawn to look out the window. And I saw the fucking worst thing in my life. Something was creeping through the trees towards the house. I stared at it for a while, but I couldn't get a good look at it since it was raining and the bush was so thick. For a few minutes, I assumed it was 2 really pale horses, kind of ambling through the woods side by side. But then it walked into the moonlight, and I saw that it was all one thing, like a kind of human torso, but wider. It finally stepped into full view, and I saw it had something like 6 legs, kind of like somewhere between the beetle's legs and a horse's legs. 2 arms, right where someone would normally have them, but they were about half a foot longer than any normal man's arms. It had a bald head, but the face looked like some sort of fucking bizarre masquerade ball kind of mask. This fucking clenched up, frowned forehead, and a nose that looked sort of like a crow's or a raven's beak. It didn't have eyes either, just like the depressions where the eyes would go. It looked like it had a human mouth underneath its procubus. What still strikes me to this day is that it seemed to have a penis too, like right on the abdomen where a normal person's dick would be. The thing moved sort of gracefully and made these soft thumping noises when it moved. It must have been like 7-8 feet tall, but it sounded like it weighed maybe on 150 pounds at most. It starts walking towards Thomas's grave, and then I finally snapped off whatever trance I was in and just scream. My mum was the first to wake up, and I tell her to look outside. She rushes over and doesn't really seem to understand what she's looking at. After a minute though, the thing bends down and starts pouring at the grave with its hands. My dad and Jesper rush in, and Jesper loses his shit, screams like a little girl, runs back out of the room, yelling for his father, yelling, "It's outside! It came! It's outside!" I look back and see the thing digging furiously at the ground, kicking up huge mounds of dirt. I hear these sounds of feet running around the house. I think they're looking for the shotgun. The thing reaches into the hole and grabs up what I assume was Thomas's body by the leg in one hand. The thing kind of gallops back into the woods, snapping all of these branches and shit, and then that's when we hear it. A kid crying, the sound of a child sobbing and crying, from the direction that the thing took off in. We left as soon as the rain let up, at like 5 AM. I don't even think we told anyone at the house. Drove straight back to Ranson, only stopping for gas. No one said a word to each other. My family refuses to speak about what happened. I tried to bring it up once, just to make sure it was real. My dad told me to shut the fuck up, so I did. I typed this about 3 weeks after it happened, but just saved it on a notepad file and left it alone. Never mentioned to any of my friends or anything. Just tried to erase it from my mind by getting absolutely fucked up drunk whenever my thoughts lingered on it. It mostly worked, up until yesterday. See, where I work at this gas station in Ranson from like 8 PM to 3 PM, I work the register, keep the place clean, and take out the trash. Yesterday, I was bringing the trash bags over to the back of the building for the dude in the morning to take care of. I heard what I assumed to be some junkie fucking around in the dumpster. I yelled at whoever it was a couple of times to get the hell out of there before I called the cops. But as I walked towards the source of the noise, I suddenly heard the same footsteps. That soft thump, thump. Hooves or feet, whatever the hell they were. I turned right around and went back to the store and hid behind the counter. I look over outside at the security monitor to see some kind of movement just off screen. Something huge, casting a shadow and moving. Catch a glimpse of, I don't know, an elbow or something? A pale limb, darting in and out of view. It had to have been the same thing. I waited for it to leave, and after a while, it did. I woke up behind the counter at 6 AM this morning, to my manager giving me this fucking look like I'm a drug addict, or something. Went home, typed the rest of this up, and that's about it.